right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. The conversation begins right now. We're calling it State of the Nation, where we talk about matters, politics, and everything in between there. We'd like to hear from you as well. At Trevor Mbiji at Citizen TV Kenya, use the hashtag Daybreak. Let me introduce my guests real quick, beginning from my right. Honorable Samson Cherargei is here, Senator for Nandi. Asante for making time. Honorable Samuel Atandi, Member of Parliament, Alego Usonga, is also here with us. Asante sana for making time. And on my left, Dr. Kimani Wamatangi, Kiambu Senator, is here. Asante for making time. We're still waiting for Dr. Boni Alwale, former Kakamega Senator. As soon as he comes in, we'll rope him into the conversation, all right? Front page of the Daily Nation. Let's just start it right there. Raila Kalonzo team plot a mega alliance, closing the ranks. The One Kenya Alliance principals have remained tight-lipped on the plans to join hands with Mr. Odinga's Azimio la Umoja movement, even as the nation has established that a committee comprising representatives from both sides is hammering out a grand coalition deal. And Atandi, I'll start with you on this. Are you aware of any grand coalition deal, considering you're part of ODM and Azimio? Or is this just speculation?
Larry, Trevor, thank you very much for inviting me to come to this show this morning. I think I've been away for quite too long.
Yes.
Because of issues on the ground. Remember, we are approaching elections, and we as MPs who are defending their seats, we've been so much preoccupied with our constituents, and therefore I've not been able to be here. But I thank God for this invitation. I'm happy to meet my friends, President Wamatangi, who has not declared interest yet, and my brother Cherargei, who has run away from running for the seat of governor because of the pressure on the ground. Thank you very much, Trevor. I think, as you're aware, Azimio la Umoja is about national inclusivity. It's about bringing Kenyans together. Kenyans or all shades of opinion, political parties. And therefore, if this is what is going to happen, I think it would be something that Kenya should celebrate.
Yeah.
Because I think in this election, we need to have just two strong candidates, you know. And of course, my candidate, the incoming president, Raila Amolo Odinga, is already the front runner in this race. So if OCA team suggests to join us, I think this is something that I think we will welcome in the spirit of Azimio la Umoja.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Cherargei, what are your thoughts on this? Is this just an attempt to seclude the One Kenya Alliance? Because they've continuously said that they're strong, they're standing together. But even people from your team keep claiming that they're Azimio. In fact, Mudavadi yesterday in Naivasha said that he realized they're a wing of Azimio la Umoja. That's why he bolted out.
Good morning, Trevor, and as usual, it's good to be here on the State of the Nation address and to welcome the new kids on the block like Mheshimiwa Samuel Atandi, who has been away. He's saying he has been on the ground, then the ground looks slippery. But anyway, we wish him the best. But he should be, you know, in ODM, you must be careful where nomination certificate is. I hope he's aware where it is, but we wish him well and, of course, to continue seeing him in the Hackers House. What I can say about this alliance is that Azimio is ODM in another clothes. There is nothing much you can write home about. And when Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, or Papa Roma, realized that the issue of saying Azimio was just treacherous nature of ODM, and therefore by all means and standard is that Azimio is ODM, just it's ODM reincarnation. And I think, and you know, one interesting thing about Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, I think he had an interview at one of the media stations. I don't know whether Citizen did run that story. I don't know, it was late last year. He was the one who accepted on a national television that he would be stupid to, in fact, he used the exam words that he would be stupid to support Raila Odinga again for the third time. And when you looked yesterday at them when they were signing, their body language was betraying them. I think they should just be honest the way DAPK and some small regional parties in some corner that have already accepted that they are working with Azimio. But I think what is important is that this Azimio has been saying to Kenyans that they want to bring Kenya together. they speak, what do you call, they drink water and they preach wine and drink water because they are telling the nation that we need to bring the nation together. But when you look at them, they would say, we don't want to engage so and so. So you wonder, what is the national unity if you are telling people, well, yes, some of us can talk, but we don't want so and so. So it is very unfortunate that they are misleading Kenyans, but as Kenya Kwanza, as you have heard, we are developing friends. You can see ANC and Ford Kenya, and the Deputy President, Dr. William Ruto, has said before that he is ready to work with like-minded Kenyans and build. And I'm happy that in a number of days, mbichi na mbifu itajulikana, because you will now have to make a decision. You will have to make a decision, but we wish them well. Of course, what is important is that people should campaign on a platform, but from where I sit and looking at the comments that have been made by Wiper leaders, it looks like Kalonzo Musyoka, the former vice president, is likely to go to the ballot. Others are just pretenders to the throne. I think the serious person here, looking at the numbers, is Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Others are just the courtiers and chesters in the King's Court and pretenders to the throne. So they don't deserve our mention, except Kalonzo Musyoka.
All right. Thank you. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, Trevor, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say good morning also to my colleagues there. Mheshimiwa Tandi, it's been a while. Yes, and karibu sana.
Thank you.
I hope you've worked the ground well, because we would be missing you if you are not here. But we wish you well, and I know you are a good man.
Thank you.
The people of Lego Usoga, I'm sure, should have consideration for the work you've done. And also my brother, Samson Cherargei. By the way, because of the work, or rather the vocal and active roles that Senator Cherargei has played as a politician, for that matter, anyway, it makes him look like a legislator who has been in office for a long time. I think he hit the ground running. So I hope your politics also resonate well with the people of Nandi, and they will be merciful to you. So anyway, I'm here, Trevor, and I know in the course of the discussion you may want to know whether I'm still running for president. And Mheshimiwa Tandi called me President Wamatangi. And Mheshimiwa, when you're calling president, you start with Your Excellency. That is how it goes. Anyway, coming to the discussion. I think, if you look at when Mudavadi and Wetangula left and joined William Ruto in the Kenya Kwanza alliance, as we said here last time, I think the fate of Oka was almost sealed. That their likelihood to run to the tape on their own, no matter how many more people they try to gather in, may not necessarily be, it may not be something you want to believe in, for that matter, that they're running seriously to the tape to run for the presidency. And so it is probably more likely that they would be considering joining one side of the two coalitions. And I've said most likely. They could still choose to run on their own, but for a calculative politician, and if you look at, for example, Kalonzo Musyoka, Kalonzo Musyoka, since the time when he was vice president, has had quite a few years out in the cold, political cold, for that matter. Maybe he may not want to go back there. Looking at, for example, the alliance between Ruto and Mudavadi, and if the reports that were in the media would have any possible inkling as to being true, that he may be getting a position or positions. And anyway, that is why people fight for political power. Politics is about interests, either community and self-interest, for that matter. So maybe for him, because if you look at all the others, you judge him as the most senior in political leadership. So probably what he would be looking at is which side of the two would he be joining. I don't know whether you remember the words of Governor Kivutha Kibwana when he was here. He may not be correct last time, but he kept repeating here that the people of Ukambani, who are the backbone of Kalonzo Musyoka's electorate, have been telling him, those were the words of Kibwana, that they've been telling him that the only one thing they don't want to hear is that he's leading them to nowhere, or rather he's leading them to a place where they're not sure that they're going to be in government. So I would be thinking that it is most likely that they may be wanting to join one of the stronger coalitions. But a few questions that would arise if you allow Trevor. One, it is I don't know how Kalonzo would deal with some of the statements he made earlier, and I'm sure you have them on record. He's been very, very emphatic sometimes earlier about why he wouldn't be joining the Azimio, and then indeed working with former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Of course, politics is politics. You can change your views, but sometimes he's made very strong statements. He may need to justify to Kenyans how and why he's changed his mind. But that notwithstanding, that even, for example, when Musalia Mudavadi also joined the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, he was equally guilty, if you like, of having made very scathing attacks, on the deputy president. But he still found his straight face to join the coalition and survive there. Can I also mention, in my view, that if you look at the other three, although Cherargei says that they may not be worth our mention, let's mention them. And if you look at, for example, during that press conference, Martha Karua was clear that she's still in the gubernatorial race for Kirinyaga. And then you would suspect that Gideon Moi would still be running for senator. So you have Martha Karua in the governor's race. You have Gideon Moi in the senator's race, because I think that's how it is like. So then that leaves you with Kalonzo Musyoka. And then what would you be thinking, now that the two are clear what they'll be running, what would then Kalonzo be going for? I would imagine now that he may not run, he can't run, for that matter, for either senator or governor of Kitui, then he would be seeking a position in the national arrangements. Lastly, Trevor, and I heard these words when Martha Karua was making some of her comments as they joined that coalition. You see, that provision in the new law, in the new act, that now parties can join those coalitions with corporate membership, whereby you go in with your whole body, mind, and soul as a party, and you live there with pseudo freedom. As a party. I think this is where one may want to ask themselves, and I don't know whether we addressed that well, Senator Cherargei and Atandi, when we were discussing this bill, as to, yes, there is very clear provisions of how you form a coalition, and that has been embraced. We may have forgotten to discuss how you exit, as a party, because yes, you join in into the corporate membership, but supposing you wanted to leave, and you have deposited your agreement and so on, how would you exit? So probably, maybe, that's what I'm saying. They might be wanting to join the stronger one. As for survival.
There was a statement made by Cherargei that you seem to be preaching water and drinking wine. And it's the same thing that happened even when UD allied members of parliament were in Naivasha. They said the Azimio team has no agenda.
Trevor, let me begin by correcting Cherargei, Senator Cherargei. He has claimed that Azimio is ODM reincarnate. And I think this is something which we must challenge. Other than the fact that the Azimio movement is led by my party leader, Raila Odinga, there's nothing else that shows that Azimio is an ODM reincarnate, because he knows very well that 90% of Jubilee county governments within the Jubilee party are supporting the Azimio movement. Azimio la Umoja movement, 90% actually. I think one or two governors, one or three governors in the Rift Valley are the ones who are opposed to Azimio. Yeah. So if this is a team that is spearheading Azimio la Umoja, you cannot then say that this is ODM. In fact, ODM presence in Azimio is actually very little. The only key ODM participant in Azimio is Baba only. The other activities of Azimio are run by members of other political parties in the spirit of uniting Kenyans. So I think this is a fact that you need to go with. The other issue is that President Wamatangi is saying that he doesn't know how Kalonzo will deal with some of the previous statements he's uttered, strong statements he's uttered, like that he would not be able to work with Raila Odinga again. And I think we are all politicians, and we know that political interests supersede most of our actions. And we have always changed positions in this country and everywhere else. People change positions based on the circumstances. And I think if Kalonzo decides to work with Baba, it would not be anything out of this world. And people should not hold a gun to Kalonzo's head that now you cannot go this direction because of what you said.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, people have changed positions daily. People change positions daily based on the interests of the country. Where we have reached, I think, we will urge Kenyans to look at the interests of the country more than anything else. This team called Kenya Kwanza, in my view, I think Junet refers to them as Kenya Kwisha. And I think he's right, because whereas we cannot work with certain characters, that is a fact. In Azimio la Umoja, there are certain characters we will not be able to work with. We cannot work with a team that has been against national unity since the handshake. There's a team that has poked holes in this equation of national unity championed by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Baba. And they've spoken against it for the last 4 years. The issues that brought the handshake together are known: national inclusivity, the war on corruption, the need to ensure that each and every section of this country benefits from natural resources. William Ruto has been against all these issues. He's been against the fight on corruption. A lot of his allies are in court charged for criminal cases. But again, he comes out to defend them and claim that they are being targeted. So if one of the pillars of Azimio la Umoja is to rid this country of corruption and corrupt elements, then how can we go and shake hands with this team? So I think this is very clear. Whereas we are seeking for national inclusivity, I think we have to be honest that we will work with people of like colors.
Okay.
Yeah. The team that is the Kenya Kwisha team, as you have said, some people are accusing us that we worked with Mudavadi, we worked with Wetangula, and when we worked with them, we did not cite their corruption colors. I think this is something that I also need to clarify. When you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones.
Yeah.
When Mudavadi joined Ruto, you remember what he said? The statements he uttered against the president, against Baba and ETC, and we have to respond because he's the one who asserted by throwing stones into a glass house.
Yeah.
And now we have to show him, we have to remind him of his colors. And that's what we have actually done. There's nothing wrong we have done. He was with us. We worked with him.
You didn't know those colors when he was with
We knew those colors, but he wasn't throwing stones.
So he was okay
Yeah, so
then.
now that he's throwing stones, we have to tell him.
Now you're throwing stones back.
Because we have to throw stones back to him. And these are facts.
So then you cannot stand there and claim that you can't work with people who are tainted because you have before.
You see, we are in a political conversation. We are all in a political conversation. And we are in a spirited political conversation. And we have to respond to those issues as they come right now.
Okay.
Yeah. When Mudavadi was working with us, he was not playing a leading role in our camp. He was just a peripheral member of our team. And he was not going to influence decision-making when Baba becomes the president. Baba is always very forthright that these are the things I stand for, and when I take over government, I will be able to do them. Okay. So anybody who is not going to affect policy making as far as the incoming government is concerned really is playing a peripheral responsibility. It is really not something that is going to tame us, stop us from fulfilling the obligation, the things that we have promised Kenyans.
Would you agree that Mudavadi was playing a peripheral responsibility, like Atandi puts it?
No. In fact, before I answer that, Mheshimiwa Atandi has just walked into a lion's den by taking us to the office, because when he says that governors that are support Azimio is because they are supporting out of their free will. A number of governors are facing corruption allegations, like Ali Koran of Garissa, Sospita Ojamong of Busia, and a number of them were in Azimio. So when he says governors are supporting out of free will, we are aware that most of those governors, and they have given us in confidence that the moment they don't support Azimio, their files will be ready with EACC and DCI. So what my brother is claiming is neither here nor there, and alleging that a number of us who support Dr. William Ruto have court cases. Even a number of them, like the Embakasi East Member of Parliament, is facing serious court cases of serious crimes in this country. So, you know...
Is he suggesting the Babu Owino is corrupt? He's facing corruption cases?
It's, you know...
We're talking about corruption cases.
We cannot...
Don't digress.
No, I'm just talking about, because you are accusing that there are leaders that are tainted.
Yeah.
And therefore, a number of them are facing court cases. So it is not neither nor here, because we must respect the rule of law.
Okay.
There is always a presumption of innocence. All those people, regardless whether they are in ODM, Azimio, anywhere, Kenya Kwanza, all those people who are facing court cases are people who have presumptions of innocence. Let those cases be finished, and then personally, when I was arrested in Kapuchai, I was later discharged or acquitted of those charges. So the ODM cannot escape and talk about corruption, because we know a number of them who are supporting have also faced corruption cases, like their governors, as I've said, that support Azimio. The issue is that when he says Mudavadi used to play a peripheral role, he's playing with the minds of Kenyans. You remember the person who used to say NASA in 2017? He used to lead NASA Brigade, which ODM, in fact, if you ask anybody, Musalia Mudavadi was the campaign manager for NASA, which ODM was part of it, and the presidential candidate then was Raila Odinga and Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as the running mate. So what I can say is that from the onset is that it is just because they are trying to, separation, bitterness, they are being chapped at what we call character development. Okay. So finally, on the issue of handshake, we must be honest, Kenyans, that the handshake happened between two people. Raila Odinga and Uhuru, NASA members complaining that they were never involved. So when you say you want to bring the unity of Kenya and you are just two people who are greeting each other at the steps of Harambee, and you want to say as national unity, how can we say have national unity when you want to build high walls against other Kenyans? Okay. I thought when you talk about national unity, you should bring all Kenyans on board. Okay. So they are just selling a facade which does not hold water. As I think they should look for something else.
Well, Matangi, they brought up quite a number of issues, but there's one that is standing out. The war on graft. Do you reckon that it is targeted? Because this is a conversation we can't run away from.
Yeah, sure. Trevor, let me just quickly touch on something there that came across when my colleagues were discussing on the coalitions, and that arose when Senator Cherargei said that indeed Azimio is ODM, and my friend Atandi has countered as he did. Yeah. I think what needs to happen, in my view, is that both Azimio, La Umoja, and Kenya Kwanza Alliance, and any other coalitions that will be formed, I think it's too hasty to comply now with the law, such that even as we say, for example, that Azimio is ODM working with Jubilee and other parties that will come in, Kenya Kwanza and the other, UDN and the other two, that I think, for them to qualify then legally, the thing is to go file those coalition agreements such that then people are talking about real coalitions. Otherwise, it would just be speculation for us to say that once you see me talking to, Trevor, then that we have a coalition. because that's not then what the law requires. It requires a formalization process. And I believe that marriage should now be consummated if it has happened for that matter between all those parties, so that they can be in it. Then secondly, let me just mention something about this issue of are there people we can work with or never work with as statements within politics? And it's Mheshimiwa Tandi who said that he's sure that there are people they would never work with, within Azimio. And that arose because I said, I don't know how Kalonzo will deal with some of his statements. And Mudavadi also had made those kind of statements. And what you realize, Trevor, is that I think the question here is it is unwise to burn bridges. When you are, and this comes from history. Yeah. Because if you look at William Ruto himself and Raila Odinga, they were bosom buddies. Yes. In 2007, they went across the entire country, campaigning. Don't forget that at one time, even President Uhuru Kenyatta was with ODM, working together with Raila, together with William Ruto, and memories of Kenyans are still fresh with the Pentagon dancing in Uhuru Park, now which has since disintegrated. I think the political lesson here is it is unwise to burn your bridges. Yeah. Things which may change, and you find yourself on the same side with the other person. But I think what we should be calling for very loudly here, Trevor, is to stand up for higher ideals when we are, running our politics, such that politics, allow me to hold a divergent view, Mheshimiwa Tandi, on this particular point, that politics should not and cannot be about that when you are living in a glass house that you're not throwing stones, but immediately when you leave that glass house and you go to another one, then you start throwing stones. Because then what we are saying to the people of Kenya is that politics is a dishonorable game, that it is about conniving and conspiracy and shielding each other, because we live in the same house, we are not throwing stones, we know that we are corporate criminals. And so the only thing I don't need to do is to shout at you. Yeah. I think we must all stand up and say that we should hold higher ideals above the party politics. About party politics, we can change views. We can say you belong to that coalition or this coalition. But on what kind of country should we have? What should we stand for as people? What are our first preferences and choices when it comes to how we want our country to look like when Kimani Wamatangi and Mheshimiwa Tandi and Cherargei are no longer in that position? Yeah. That we can advance a cause whereby this country can be lifted a second time by a second and third and fourth generation to the same high ideals. That is what our politics should be about. Okay. So I think those levels should be separate. Such that even as you commented, my brother, that Mudavadi then, and indeed, as you say, has issues to clear about. If that be so, then he should clear them now. He should have cleared them then. He couldn't have possibly been clean because he was then in ODM. He can't possibly be clean now just on account that he has, declared to be so. And so is everybody else. Okay. And, I think that needs to be, Trevor, when you invite us here to come and have this conversation that is watched by millions of Kenyans every morning, Kenyans also must have the belief that we are not here just to charade, just to, tongue twist and say things that are unuseful. We are here because we want a better country. Okay. And this political conversation must arise into raising the bar all the time, that tomorrow's politicians will be better than we are. All right. I think that's what we should ideal for. Okay.
Let's take a quick break here on Daybreak. Yeah. Just something. Very briefly, yes.
I think let's be clear. Even when we are seeking for higher ideals, let's be clear, because most of these politicians today, in this political space today, they are not new. We are not talking about a politician who was born yesterday, or somebody who was in a corporate environment and has chosen to come to politics today. We are talking about politicians who have held positions for over 20, 30 years. So if we are scrutinizing them and saying that we know their history, we know their track record, that I think is not really very bad. Yeah. And when Mudavadi was working with us, the issue of whether he's clean or not did not come up, because he was not our candidate and therefore we were not there to scrutinize him.
But it's not also...
So...
Doesn't that then justify what Cherargei was saying? That the moment you go against the system, then all of a sudden the light is shone on you?
No. Not that way. I want to give you an example. He's saying that on all political sides, there are people who have been charged in court, and I agree with him. But what we are asking now is, what is their position on corruption? That is something which they have said, that actually they have said they have no issue with corruption. That even your answer as today, you say something else, but what has been said, and Ruto has said that they have no problem with corruption. That in Kenya, corruption is not the issue.
Misleading public.
Corruption is not the problem.
I think...
Let me finish.
Let him finish.
Let me finish.
I'll give you a chance.
Let me finish. Ruto has come out and said that to them, corruption is not a problem. That corruption cannot stop you from implementing your policies and running government. So that's where we are disagreeing. For us, I think corruption is a very big problem according to Azimio. So these are some of the disagreements we have, which really we cannot assume. And two, and lastly, Senator Wamatangi, yes. I agree with you that we cannot burn political bridges. Yeah. That I agree with you fully. But is it possible that today we can wake up and say we want to support Ruto for president? We cannot. Ruto can choose to support us. And if he chooses to support us, we will accept, because in which case we will have accepted that indeed Baba is the right candidate to transform this country. If Kenyans rally through a consensus process, that this time it is Baba to run this country.
But you just said we
will not reject, because ideally we believe Baba is the best candidate.
Yeah.
And if Ruto thinks that is the case, we will welcome him to our camp so that he can allow Baba to run government, to form and run government.
But isn't that double speak? You just said that you don't accept support from people who are like-minded.
When you are forming a government, you are forming a government for everybody, for all Kenyans. Even the corrupt will be that in Kenya. We are not going to send corrupt people away from Kenya, but we are going to run a government, and Kenya is a country for all of us.
Okay.
Even the corrupt will be part of Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but we are going to ensure that the policies we put in place are those policies that are going to ensure that corruption is killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cherargei, respond to that.
I think the rate at which Mheshimiwa Tandi is mutating is on a higher level, is another level, because he is speaking from this side and saying something else after a few minutes. But what I want to say, and that is the position of the Deputy President, is that we should allow all institutions to function. Because if you talk about the fight against corruption, we have EACC, we have courts of law, we have DCI and other institutional functionalities.
Yeah.
I think the fight against corruption is that our position is that we allow institutions to function, but also the people in political offices should not weaponize the fight against corruption. Because what we are seeing is that we are seeing high-level arrests, we are seeing screaming headlines that so and so has been arrested because of corruption allegations, but after some few months or some few weeks, the trail gets cold. So what the position has been, the fight against corruption, is that we must allow the institutions that have been tasked with the fight against corruption to do their job. And being a chair of JLAC before, there are more underlying serious issues that these institutions that face, like issues of resource, issues of capacity, issues of even preventing corruption from happening. So in as much as all these factors remain constant, the government must give the necessary support, especially resource allocation, because when you look at DSCC, sometimes they don't have even capacity to do forensic investigations, to do other, in what we call, most of these corrupt cases in some way a bit complicated. Sometimes they need expertise, maybe from accountants, from forensics, from audit and many other factors. So from where we sit is that let the institutions that are tasked with corruption do their job, but let's not weaponize the fight against corruption.
All right. Let's take a quick break here on Daybreak. When we come back, there's a lot of feedback coming through. And also on the front page of the Standard, this is a big deal here. A bill that is seeking return of voting system last used in 2007. A fresh clash looms in the National Assembly following the introduction of a bill that seeks to amend the Elections Act to bring back manual voter identification and transmission of poll results. That's what we talk about right after this break.